ever wonder what the chances of rain tomorrow really are? Or, rolling that perfect six you desperately need in a board game? Well, it turns out these aren't just random guesses. Today, we're going to break down the math behind the odds, and you'll see that probability is way simpler and a lot more useful than you probably think.
So, instead of kicking things off with a boring old definition, we're going to jump right in with a fun little puzzle. Honestly, it's the best way to really get a feel for how all this stuff works.
Okay, so if you close your eyes and just grab one, what are your chances of picking a red one? The answer here isn't just a wild guess, it's all about logic. Let's break down the scene together.
All right, picture this. You're at a party and there are 10 balloons floating around. 3 of them are red and 7 are blue. And believe it or not, with just those 2 simple numbers, we have everything we need to figure out the odds.
And boom, there it is. Your chance of picking a red balloon is 3 out of 10. So why? Well, it's because there are 3, let's call them favorable outcomes, those are the red balloons we want, out of 10 total possible outcomes. See? You just did probability without even trying.
So, that little puzzle wasn't just a party trick. We were actually using a super powerful mathematical tool without even realizing it. Now, let's pull back the curtain and look at the simple formula that makes the magic happen.
Okay, so here's the official textbook definition. Probability is just a branch of math that deals with how likely it is for something to happen. Basically, you can think of it as the math of chance. It's what lets us go from a vague feeling, like, it might rain, to a specific number we can actually use.
And this right here, is the secret formula. The probability of an event happening is simply the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total outcomes. That's it. Just think back to our balloons. 3 red ones we wanted, divided by 10 balloons in total. It's so simple, but man, is it powerful.
Now here's a really important piece of the puzzle. Your answer is always going to be a number between 0 and 1. If the probability is 0, it's completely impossible. It's just not going to happen. If it's 1, it's a sure thing, absolutely certain. And pretty much everything else in life, like our balloon puzzle, falls somewhere in that range between impossible and certain.
Okay, so how can we use this formula for, well, anything? I'm going to break it down for you into a super simple 4-step process that you can use for pretty much any probability problem you run into. It's a really straightforward process. First, you just identify the event. What are you trying to figure out? Second, count your favorable outcomes. Third, count the total outcomes. And fourth, you just do the math. Define it, count them up, and divide. Let's put this thing to the test.
Okay, here's a classic. Let's say you've got a standard 6-sided die. You pick it up, you give it a roll. What are the chances it lands on a 4? Let's use our brand new 4-step method to figure it out.
All right, let's apply our steps. Step 1, what's the event? Easy, it's rolling a 4. Step 2, how many favorable outcomes are there? Well, think about it. There's only one side on the die with a 4 on it, so that's just 1. Step 3, total outcomes? A die has 6 sides, so that's 6 total possibilities. Boom, we've got our 2 numbers.
And now for the final step. We just plug it into the formula. We take our 1 favorable outcome divided by the 6 total outcomes, and what do we get? The probability of rolling a 4 is exactly 1 out of 6. Simple as that.
So, you might be thinking, okay, this is cool for party games and math class, but what about the real world? Well, once you start looking for it, you'll realize probability is absolutely everywhere. I mean, think about it. From figuring out your next move in a board game, to that weather forecast telling you there's a 30% chance of rain. Even in sports, when a coach decides on a play based on how likely a player is to score. It's all running on the principles of probability.
All right, before we wrap this up, I want to tackle one really common myth about probability. It's a mistake a lot of people make. And then, of course, it's your turn to put these new skills to the test with a few challenges.
Okay, here's the big one. It's so easy to think that high probability means guaranteed, but that's not true. A 90% chance of rain still means there's a 10% chance you get a perfectly sunny day. So remember this, probability is all about chance. It is not a guarantee. All right, you ready? Time for a quick challenge. Let's start with an easy one, a coin flip. What is the probability of flipping a coin and getting heads? Go ahead and pause and work it out if you need to.
Okay, challenge number 2. A box has 5 green marbles and 3 blue marbles. If you reach in without looking, what's the probability of picking a blue one? Take a second and see if you can solve it.
And for our final challenge, a bag of fruit has 4 apples, 2 bananas, and 1 orange. The process is exactly the same, just a couple more numbers to add up. What's the probability of picking an apple?
All right, time for the big reveal. Let's see how you did. For the coin flip, it's 1 favorable outcome out of 2 total sides, so 1/2. For the marbles, there are 3 blue ones out of 8 total marbles, giving you 3/8. And for the fruit, there are 4 apples out of 7 total pieces of fruit, so that's 4/7. So, how'd you do?
So there you have it. We've seen that probability isn't some crystal ball for predicting the future. It's really about understanding the chances. It's a powerful tool that helps us make smarter decisions in a world that's full of unknowns. So the only real question left is, now that you know the odds, what chances are you going to take?